When it comes to the Baker, it does have a very cute grandfather granddaughter relationship at the core of it, but as much as you may appreciate a lot of the fight scenes involved, it just feels like something is missing, but it's hard to say what. To summarize the film, Peter is a driver for his own company, but it's not doing as well as he expected it to for various reasons. However, he lucks upon a botched mob hit that gets him access to drugs that he thinks will make him more than enough money to bounce back financially and take care of his daughter Delphi. However, to make this deal, he needs someone to babysit, and with Delphi's mom dead, that means Peter going to his father, formerly known as the Butcher, now known as the Baker. Delphi is not pro seeing, or rather staying with her grandfather because she doesn't know him. But unfortunately for her, and even the Baker to a point, Peter doesn't leave them any choice. And because Peter's in over his head with trying to negotiate the mob about their own drugs, he ends up in a situation with this man named Vic, who works for the merchant, who runs a drug operation. And Peter's put in a situation where it seems like more than likely he's going to die. And with his final call being to his father, who hears the commotion and gets worried, this leads to the Baker going after whoever may have hurt his son, and in the process drawing attention to himself, where the merchant has to send people to figure out who is killing all my men and messing with my operation. So in terms of highlights, the highlight that will mostly be a driving force when it comes to this is that there's occasional flinch-worthy action. It's not at the level of Atomic Blonde, which is probably like where my bar is of having flinch-worthy action, but it's still entertaining. Perlman still seems to be taking hits and dishing them out, and I'm not going to say every last one he issues makes you wince or flinch, but at the same time, this film doesn't get lazy by just having a bunch of gun violence, but instead there's a lot of close quarters combat with people punching, slamming people's heads into things, and that's where a lot of entertainment value comes in. Watching people shoot each other gets very boring unless they're going to show a graphic shooting where bullets are going through people and heads are exploding or whatever. But watching people actually fight, that's when you can really get into it. And being that I want to say maybe Ron Perlman still does his own stunts, it really makes it so when he gets winded, it seems like he's really doing something, so it makes every single action feel a bit more real. The other highlight for us is the bond between grandpa and granddaughter, and no, Delphi, who went mute ever since her mom died, doesn't say a single word until the end of the movie. But up until then, there's enough given to get into this bond, especially as you can see the Bakers slowly try to be to Delphi what he wasn't to Peter, as we often see and hear most grandparents try to do with their grandchildren. But one of the things I think is really cute about their relationship is that, taking note when you learn about how Delphi's mom died, especially because it was kind of tragic and graphic, it makes it all the more heartening when she's in these situations where she knows or can see that her grandpa may die, and you can see that connection. Even if it's kind of a trauma bond, it kind of grabs onto you and pulls at your heartstrings a little bit. With that said, what kind of made me not as interested in the Baker as I could have been is that I'm very much a type who's about character development, and that's not a strong focus here. We get basic understandings of people's relationships, and that's pretty much it. The Baker wasn't the best father. Established. Vic and the merchant don't have the best relationship because Vic isn't part of the family, so it seems like he hit a glass ceiling. That's established. Peter is not necessarily broke, but kind of down on his luck because he did an auction that didn't go his way. Established, but a lot of this story-wise may set up the action scenes in a decent way, but as for you getting really invested in it, as much as I like Delphi and the Baker's relationship, at the same time I feel like I should also care whether or not Peter dies, and that never really comes about. But overall, The Baker is a pleasant action film that may not have a standout moment or performance, but it can at least satisfy your itch for an action film. And also, with its fairly cute relationship at the center, it gives you a little bit of butterflies. Not enough to like really be overly invested, want a sequel, or really want to see what happens in the future with the young actress. So I'm similar to what happened with Logan when it comes to Daphne and Keane and her relationship with, well, I forgot the dude who played Wolverine. Either way, with his actor, but it's better than nothing.